share?
Yeah, sure. We're a spin-off from Ryerson University. My partner's a professor there. And what we have is a pattern recognition technology. It's for financial professionals. So best explained by way of example. What's been interesting, unemployment has been declining for the past couple of months. A user, without formulaically describing that pattern, can just use the example itself, the graph, and take that to find every time in the past when you had similar environments of declining unemployment. So right away you can answer a question, what should we expect to happen next in the market? We mine that information. So it's a data mining tool, and it basically democratizes what the quants are doing, so that any business user can do it. So we're selling to mutual funds, hedge funds, banks.
Wow.
Yeah. We got on our feet. It was through grant funding, the Int'l commercialization program, which takes place in the university. That's how we created the spin-off. And it got us to a stage where we were able to get early customers. And that's where we are right now. We're still in an angel raising mode, fundraising mode. But that grant really put us on our feet. And now we're trying to create a syndicate. There's the York Angel Investors up in Markham, a group here in New York, another in Chicago. So it's going to come from both sides of the border.
Now, did the university actually take a position in the company?
No, the grant was to commercialize our IP. We created the spin-off, and the university does not have a position. But I think that as part of this money raise, it would be wonderful if the more Canadian investment we have, the better. There are a lot of reasons for that. One is just the tax benefit and having your investors close to home. So we're certainly open to that possibility.
As you know, we struck the Jenkins panel to report on R&D and on innovation where Canada can do better. So our government is committed to actually addressing each one of the recommendations that was raised in that report. So we're really hoping to take some steps to give Canadian innovators more support at home. But in the meantime, what Jen was saying is a place where we can actually, as a Canadian government, support Canadian entrepreneurs, provide them with the environment they need to perhaps move their innovations to the next level.
Right, and that's coming through. It really is. It's again the network. You know, when you're raising money, it's finding somebody who has both the connections and the knowledge and the willingness to fund. So that's the Commissioner of Services have put us in touch with those sorts of people.
And if all of you become successful, which I hope you will, there's several different rounds of VC money that you will need along the way, right? So it's not just the angel. We had one successful startup here that's all, raised $30 million from an American VC. And then we worked very closely to, but now they're looking, if it's successful, they need another significant round. And these are all pre-IPO rounds, so each one is large as you tackle global marketplace.
For sure, yeah. The raise we're doing now will be followed by another, and with success another. I mean, each time you evaluate, can you do it organically or should we accelerate?
Right. Although a lot of the US VCs, they dream pretty big, right? And us Canadians, a little bit, let's play it not super aggressively, safe in a sense. Although you have to be aggressive a little bit in the startup, right? But some of the VCs in the US, they do push you really, really far, which is nice sometimes, but sometimes it could kill the company as well. So it's a nice balance you have to have along.
Kassondra, where do you see your company being at in a year or two?
Hopefully, between Montreal and New York, having full-time offices and, going into our second or third round of financing and being really successful. Right now, we're at 130 designers and over 600 boutiques, and we're in 26 different countries. Yeah. So I use a lot of the trade commissioner services in Brazil and Berlin and Japan because I travel to all these trade shows, and they've been a real help.
These are all great stories. I think these are stories that Canadians need to hear because the Trade Commissioner Service is not well understood in Canada, if it's even known at all. I get a chance as minister actually to share these stories. Share this piece for very helpful as I communicate with the Canadian public. Did you have any questions as to the work that I do in terms of promoting Canada abroad?
Yeah, I'm curious, when you look at New York and you've launched an Accelerator program here, and I know that the government has done so in California, how do you view New York specifically in terms of innovation and this Accelerator program?
I think it's pretty safe to say that when it comes to technology, New York is really coming to its own in terms of supporting innovation, being a hotbed of innovators, and acting really as a magnet now, like Silicon Valley has been. New York is very much gaining that reputation. You know that because you're here. That's why I'm so pleased that Consul General Prato would actually identify this as an opportunity and work with our government to actually establish this kind of an accelerated program, which the two of you have not been part of, but which Kassondra does play into. But you're also Canadian success stories, and in many ways, you're ambassadors. You're also role models for other Canadians who aspire to do what you are doing. They hear the stories, they have the skills to be able to do it. They don't know if there's a sufficient enough prospect for them to be successful. When you share your stories like this, they're going, you know, I can do that. I've got this great idea that I want to take forward. I've been somewhat concerned about the kind of support that would be there, whether from the Canadian government or from the venture capital community. It sounds to me like it is working for Canadians, and hopefully they make that leap, do that, because it is going to drive more Canadian innovation. As I mentioned earlier, Canada does lag behind, not in terms of its highly educated workforce, its human resources. We lag behind in taking the final step of helping Canadians commercialize their innovation. And so that's why we've, as a government, we're taking some steps to try to identify what it is that we're still missing and slowly work towards filling that gap so that we can actually commercialize within Canada. But New York is obviously a place that excites a lot of young innovators like you, and we're pleased as a government to play our small part in doing that. Thank you to all of you for meeting with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.